Hi guys, welcome to Karlpopewoodcraft. Today I'm going to be building this wine rack. I started this before Christmas, it was for a gift, but because the person watches the channel, I thought I'd wait till after Christmas to release it, so they didn't have no idea what I was building. It's a Keith Brown design, and I downloaded the plans from his website, so I'll pop a link in the description below to Keith's channel and to his website where you can get the free plans. I have made some alterations to it, one being this copper bar, and the top Keith has his facing the opposite way around to hold the bottles in. I just did that on the fly on the way through, or just halfway through the process, just decided I'd do that because I had some of this copper bar. And on that note guys, we'll get on with the build. Just off camera then guys, what I've done is I've cut all the boards down to 100 millimeters, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards for the actual wine rack itself, and now we're just going to cut them down to the final dimensions. So I need 2 of 510 mil, so I'll do that first. So now I'm just going to mark 510 on here. And now we're going to go back over to the miter saw. We need 2 at 280 millimeters, so we might as well mark them up before we go over there and do that. I've got one board which has got a little bit of unevenness in the middle, so I'm going to use this one for this. I'm just going to square them 2 ends up, and then we're going to measure from there, and we should be able to get the 280 mil easily without going into this damage area, which we will do. So we'll get 2 out of that one, which is great. So from the plans, we've got the 2 510 mil pieces cut to length, 2 of them. We've got the two pieces at 280 mil cut to length, 2 of them, and we need 1 piece at 450, and then that's everything. So this piece will be spare for now, which is good. Good to have the spare piece, isn't it? So I'll square one end up. Get this cut to 450, and then we can start the construction. All the pieces are cut, and now we can start assembling the joints. So we've got 6 dado joints cut, and they're all 7 mil deep, so we can mark them out. And I think we've got an overhang of 1 or 2 centimeters at either side, but I'm not quite sure, so we'll just play it by ear at the minute. So I'm just marking out the dado joints now, and I've come in 1 thickness of the board, and I am marking the dado joints directly off of the piece of timber, and we'll just mark where the waste is in the dado joint. One of the good features about this Evolution miter saw is it has the depth stop here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that to approximately 7 mil. That looks about right, so we'll make a practice cut and then we can check that. Bit too deep. So we've got the 4 dados cut for the top and bottom of the rack. Now we need to cut the ones in the side pieces, the uprights. And on the plans I can't see exactly how high up, so I think it's just a case of getting your own bottle of wine and doing what suits your rack the best. So I'm just gonna, because we're gonna have the top piece on as well. All your bottles will probably be different sizes anyway, so I'm gonna go about there. Just made them a line with my pencil, and I'll transfer that onto both sides and cut these dados as well. Using the middle shelf to mark the width. And again, a 7mm dado. So we've just had a dry fit. As you can see, all the joints fit quite nice, and everything's nice and square. I specifically never cut the middle shelf to size at the beginning when we cut all the pieces, because I was a bit unsure if I, after cutting the dados, if I would have cut that to the correct dimensions, which I probably wouldn't have done, to be fair. So I can just mark it up directly from here and then make that cut over at the miter saw. As you can see there, guys, that fits snugly into position. It's quite a nice tight fit. Now it's time to mark up for the placement of the wine glasses and the bottles. This doesn't need any cuts on it because this is the shelf. I need to cut out some portions for the wine bottles to fit in and some portions for the glasses. So I'm just going to mark all these up with numbers starting from the top here, so I can have them all going back to the exact same place, because these are all fitting nice. So I've just numbered them through 1 to 4, so when I come to glue up later, I know all these pieces will be the same side round with them numbers showing, and they should have a nice fit because they fit lovely now. So I have, on the drawings, we've got 4 glasses to be marked out, what are going on the bottom shelf, which is this one, and we mark in 100mm on centre between each one. So if I mark 100, 200, 300, 400. Each one of these is going to be 15mm. Can cut them out on the bandsaw. So guys, this is the bit where personally I think it's the most difficult, and it's marking out approximately where your bottles are going to go. And I think even when Keith did this, he found this bit the most difficult as well, remembering back watching the video. So I've just done it once and I've just sanded it off because it was not right. So I'm going to have another go now. I'm going to measure in 2 centimeters either side. I'm going to draw that line across with a square. And now we're going to mark out where we want the bottles. So I'm going to be using this can because when I use the bottle, the shape of the bottle obviously is perfectly round, but you need your semicircle to be bigger than the bottle itself. So using the bottle is not really the right shape we want. So we're going to use this can. But first we're going to divide this space into 4. 380 divided by 4 is calculator time. 380 divided by 4 equals 95. So every 95 centimeters, 9.5 centimeters. 9.5, and then that last one should be, well, that one's just under 9.5, but we can live with that. So then we're going to put this can on here, and we're going to draw around. Line them up first. Make a line for how far back we want it to go. So I think we're going to get rid of these areas here. The bottles should fit in there nicely. They look all pretty even, give or take a few mil here and there. So we'll cut them out on the bandsaw now, and then we'll clean them up on the spindle sander. So I've decided I'm going to alter the design slightly from Keith's, but only because a bit of inspiration from another YouTuber, Badger Workshop. He's regularly using copper pipe like this, and I think it always looks cool in his projects. So I'm going to steal that idea, it looks cool. So I'm going to cut a piece of this at the miter saw the same length as the shelf, and then we can cut. Actually, will it work? Will the bottle of wine still get in? Right, let me think about this for a minute. This is the alteration that I've made. So on Keith's he has this that way around, which is lovely, holds the bottles in perfectly. But I've got this copper which I'm using for a job, so I add it in, and I love the fact when Badger Workshop does his videos uses loads of copper and it's nice, so I thought how could I use that in this, and I thought that'd look cool with holding the bottles in place. However, when I came to do it I didn't realise I didn't have enough space in the frame itself, so I've just made one of these as a template, and I think that looks okay. You guys let me know what you think. So I'm going to replicate that this side, and then I'm going to epoxy it in either side and then glue it onto the front. The bottles won't be leaning on it at all anyway, so they'll be sat nicely back, resting on there. So I'm going to do that. So I'll make another one of them. I'll show you how I did that. It's real simple. So I just drew around a circle to get this, the bottom of a can, but I'm just going to replicate this exact same one on here, like that. Cut that on the bandsaw, and then drill a 16mm hole directly in the centre. thought I might as well drill that out on the drill press while it's got all this on, so I've got something to grip first before I cut it on the bandsaw.
Right.
Right, I'll just get rid of the excess glue. I really enjoyed the process of the build on this one, and thanks again to Keith for the design, for the free plans, really appreciated. And my sister-in-law loves the wine rack, but she's not putting it up yet because the kitchen's just getting remodelled and it's going to go in. I'm going to put it up for at the end of that. Is there anything I'd do differently? I think where I'm still needing to, to improve quite probably the biggest area is my planning. So I think I'd definitely, I'm always changing things halfway through. I don't know if that's quite the norm, but definitely better planning. I still can't use SketchUp very well, and I know you don't have to, but just my drawings and my cut lists, things like that. I think I want to improve with them areas, so that's something I'd do differently. And that's it, guys. So I'll catch you on the next one next Sunday. This is the regular release time now, Sunday afternoons. So hope to see you then, and bye bye.